I'm up at Seagull House with the residents in Rutland Avenue in Crumlin. There's 2 blocks of flats up here. There's over 50 flats here. The situation is that they've been dealing with massive disgraceful living conditions for a number of years. They've tried to contact the council and numerous times and been fobbed off for various reasons. They've been neglected. There's a rat infestation going on. It's basically a lot of dampness, mould, serious overcrowding. It's endemic of what's happening through the wider sort of Dublin element in terms of the running down the council properties. Council tenants are massively affected at this point because of privatisation policies of Fine Gael, where they're selling off rafts of public land to private developers.
Save ways of living. Yeah. I mean, walking up and down our own stairs, walking in our own homes, and being able to live like human beings instead of watching if we have rats. If our foot's going to go through the mouldy stairs, or like on walls there's dampness. I mean, we can't live like that. My mother's 73 and she's confined to her bedroom because she can't move out because of the way the flats are gone. The dampness all around, general upkeep of the flats, overcrowding, getting some of the older people out that can't handle the stairs, more community reference.
Don't forget the flooding as well.
Pardon?
The street flats that was flooded.
The street flats that was flooded and the corporation minimum
that was flooded out.
Well, I think there's a very unstated agenda to isolate local authority communities in Dublin City, particularly in and around the canals and into the inner city, and that's both north and south of the Liffey. We have another woman who's fighting a campaign around Constitution Hill, and the issues are very, very similar. Overcrowding, neglect, rat infestation, illegal dumping is a big issue as well, and I think it was you, Peter, said that that's a direct result of the privatisation of services, and this is going to increase because the council are turning a blind eye. They're putting no resources into areas like this, but they've no problem giving planning permission for apart hotels, 8-storey buildings in the Coombe, student accommodation, something like 6,000 student accommodation spaces to go into Dublin 8 down the road, and nothing happening for the tenants that they have. They pay the rent, they deserve their human rights. The people of Dolphin House fought for years and years. They had to go to the United Nations on a human rights grounds to get their issues of damp and neglect dealt with, and we're hoping to talk to them and to find out what ruling they got, that should also apply here.
Obviously, Ireland is one of the lowest percentage of social housing properties in Europe. We've got 67% of our properties are only classed as social housing. And it's been run down all the time because of the commodification of housing, and people can see it as an avenue to make massive profits. There's a massive transfer of wealth where people in HAP tenancies, or landlords in HAP tenancies, are getting massive amounts of money, up to £500 million a year, being transferred from the public purse into private hands. There's a site down the road, in the Player Will site, which is NAMA controlled, banks that we bailed out, should be used for public housing. So this is campaigns where we have to link people in, whether it be private rented accommodation in overcrowded conditions in the Crumlin, General Dolphins Barn area and Drimna area, to get involved in campaigns to demand that's 100% public housing. So that will help the overcrowded situation. There's 3 or 4 generations living in these flats, and that's where they want to live near their friends and families in their communities. They should be allowed to live in their areas. So we have to build people power campaigns to keep that in public hands and not give it off to private developers, because we're just sick of those policies. It's destroying communities, it's destroying people's lives, and it's running down, as I said, they're running down flats, and any public land we have is just being seen as a massive avenue to make massive profits and, just, as I said, destroy communities. But the beauty is people are fighting back. You can see the residents here today to start a bigger campaign. The ones in the north inner city are doing exactly the same, but we have to link these campaigns into the private rented sector, the public tenants, people in overcrowded accommodation. We're all in the same battle, the same fight for public housing, increasing the thresholds where people are accessible to public housing and paying relative to what your means are. And that's the model we're looking for and we're proposing. So we should be getting people involved in these campaigns to fight for public housing, for public land.